What's up, everybody? It's Broken Bones here, and welcome to KrustyKraft. Today is episode 45. Yes, it is. And today is part 3 of episode 45. And behind me is the Superior Universal Dirty Tree Blaster. If you're not trying to watch part 3 of this video and you need to watch another part, I left all the links to all the parts down in the description. As you can see, I have my second account down there using the farm. He's planting birch trees, and the thing's working great. We've planted several other different types of trees, and it's been working just fine, and everything's coming in nicely. As you can see out the front, we have a customized storage area over here. This is a one-wide tileable shulker box loading system, and so we already have like all of these shulker boxes of acacia. Look at that, a full barrel of that. We don't have any of those, but we do have a lot of spruce, and we have a lot of oak. Look at how much wood we already have. And everything is working just great. We're only on part 3 of the tutorial, and that's my second account up there, so he's having a great time. But nonetheless, yeah, we have a tutorial on this in creative mode that I made quite a long time ago, and I'm doing it here in survival on KrustyKraft. And since that tutorial has come out, I've added Acacia Mode, which is actually this circuit right here. All of this circuit is not in the tutorial, and this is all new. And so everything that you're going to see today in this tutorial is all done in survival, and it's all new circuits. And with that being said, if you guys are ready to watch part 3 of this tutorial, then go ahead and smash the like button for me and subscribe if you guys are new, and let's move on with the tutorial, and material lists will be down in the description. Where we ended in part 2, we were putting in all the glass right here at the top of the farm, so we're going to go ahead and start right there again. I'm going to play the previous clip for you guys so you guys can pick up right where you guys left off. So now I've covered every block up here with a block of glass, so every single block has been covered. Next, we need to go ahead and come to the center here. We're going to come to the center where that moss block is, about up here. So next, we need to go ahead and get ourselves up here. Let's go ahead and place ourselves in one glass block in here to the side. On this side of the center, we're going to go ahead and place ourselves a glazed terracotta block. Right in the dead center, right above that moss block, we're going to place ourselves in a sea lantern. Then we're going to surround that sea lantern with more of these glazed terracotta blocks. Then what we're going to do is we're going to fill in this area, this whole 5x5 with glass. So now I've covered the entire 5x5 area inside the tree farm all with glass, and now we need to go ahead and come over here to our light source block right here in the middle of all these glazed terracotta. It's glazed terracotta because we're going to be using slime right here in the middle. This is going to be our oak mode circuit, and this is going to go down to stunt the tree growth. So next we need to go and come up by 4 blocks. So that's 2 already. That's 3 and 4. Over here on the side, we're going to place ourselves a temporary block. This is going to be the side that's over here on the right-hand side from your front over here. We need to place ourselves in a observer in there just like that. We're going to come up by another block here just like so. We're going to come out by 2 and up by 1. We're going to place ourselves in a glazed terracotta block there and a sticky piston here. Then once we have that part of it completed, next we need to go ahead and come up by a slime block here and up and over here just like this. We're going to go just like that right there and just like that over there. On top of the sticky piston, we need to place ourselves in a glazed terracotta block. Then we need to come on down here. We need to go ahead and come on over here just like this. We're going to come down one by one more like so and place in another temporary block there. And then one over here just like so we can place ourselves a sticky piston facing down just like that. And then once you have that done, you need to place a temporary block in right there. We need to go ahead and come on up here just like this and get ourselves an observer right in here like so. So I'm going to break this block out. We're going to place ourselves an observer with the red dot facing in there and then put that block back. So now that that's all done and dusted, next we need to go ahead and come on down here to this observer. We're going to come on down here and we're going to come onto this side. This is the side where your entrance is. And we're going to place ourselves in an obsidian block right there. Then we need to place ourselves in a temporary block over here on this side with a regular piston in facing in just like this, and then we can break out our temporary block. Once we have that in place, next we can go ahead and get ourselves some more temporary blocks to go ahead and stand on over here. There we go, just like that. Then what we need to do is we need to get ourselves another temporary block, which now I'm out of stone, so I'm going to go ahead and use some slime blocks over here. We're going to place in a slime block right there with a regular piston in there, just facing in there just like that. Let's see if we can collect that. That's expensive when it falls down in the void like that. But nonetheless, that's the piston that we need. Now we need to hop off of here. We're going to place one more obsidian in right there. So now that this is all done, these 2 pistons here are going to stop and start oak mode, and it's going to fly up and down, stunning the tree growth. And we need to wire that up to the oak mode switch, which is right there. So now we're down here at the oak mode lamp right here. So next we're going to go ahead and take an output from that lamp with a repeater just like this. And we're going to put a block in front of that repeater just like so, with a redstone torch on the front of it just like this. Once you have that in place, next we're going to take ourselves a sticky piston. We're going to place it in there just like that. You're going to see that it extends. Then we're going to come on top of it like this. We're going to place in 9 slime blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 just like that. Then we need ourselves some temporary blocks. Let's go ahead and grab one of these. We're going to come out here just like this, just like that. There we go. Next, we need to go ahead and grab our pickaxe here. We're going to go ahead and break this block out. We're going to turn this one into glazed terracotta just like that. And then on top of here, we need to place ourselves in an observer just like this. That observer needs to face our oak mode machine right here. Then next, we need to go ahead and come up here by 8 blocks. So we're going to go stair stepping up just like this. So that's going to be 1, 2, and then over here, we're going to go just like this. We're going to go just like this here. Can we get that in there? There we are. So that's 3 here, just like this. And I'm thinking here, instead of going underneath, we'll go on top here, just like that. So that's 3, and then that's going to be 4 here, just like this. Can I get that? There we go. 4, and then we have 5, just like that, and then 6, just like this. Then 7, right here. Here we are, 7. And then 8, one more. Let's go up by 1 more. There we go. I believe that is correct. That looks good. All right, now we're going to go ahead and bring this all the way around here. 1, 2, 3, just like that, all the way to our piston over here. So let's go ahead and bring that all the way across. Then we need to run redstone dust all the way around here, just like so. And then over here at this piston too, we need to go ahead and connect this piston up as well. So right here, we're going to go ahead and bring 2 more blocks across here as well. And then run redstone dust to all of those. Then bring this all the way down here, just like so, leading all the way down to the glazed terracotta. So now that oak mode is all wired up, I think on the very top here with this obsidian, I think I'm going to go ahead and throw a sea lantern up there for some brightness to go ahead and light everything up. Next, we need to go ahead and come on down here. We're going to come all the way down, and now we're going to go ahead and wire up our pistons. And the first set of pistons that we need to wire up is actually over here, so let's go ahead and get ourselves over this way. Then once we're over here, next we need to go ahead and get ourselves some blocks laid in right here. We're going to go ahead and wire up the bottom row of blocks here, so we're going to go ahead and place in blocks across here just like so. We're going to come on down here like this. We're going to place in a block there, a temporary one there, and one out to the side just like that. We're going to go ahead and place in another block right there, and we'll place in a temporary one right there. We need to go ahead and come on back up here and place ourselves in another block in right there, just like that. We can break out that temporary one now. Now we need to get ourselves up there, so let's go ahead and place in a few temporary blocks to get ourselves up here. And then once we're up here, we need to place in some redstone dust. Let's go ahead and break out our temporary blocks here that we used. And then once we're done with that, we can grab our redstone dust here. We're going to go ahead and place that in here just like this. And then we're going to place redstone dust on top of here just like that. And then what we need to do is we need to go ahead and take ourselves some copper blocks. We're going to go every other layer just like this with more redstone dust on top once we get up there. And then from right here, we need to go ahead and wire this up with redstone dust as well. So we're going to go ahead and come across here just like this with a glass tower leading up to this. And then that way we can get our redstone dust on top of the next layer just like so. And we're going to do that all the way up. And now we're at the top, placing in the final bits of redstone, and that is what it looks like at the top. Next, we need to go ahead and wire up these sets of pistons, but there's like nothing to land on over there. It's kind of sketched. Let's see if we can get down there on top of that piston there. All right. It's not pillared up from where we landed down there. Next, we need to go ahead and grab some blocks. We need to place in 4 blocks at the bottom of these pistons right there on the side of that observer. Then next, we need to go ahead and get ourselves up here. We're going to place in some redstone dust across all of these here just like that. This is right where the trap door is that we placed in earlier. We need to take ourselves out a block here just like this. Place in some redstone dust in there like that. Then over here on this side, we're going to do the same thing with some redstone dust in here like that. The next layer is going to go in just like this. We're going to put some more redstone dust on top of that, and then we're going to wire up every other layer. We're going to do this over and over and over all the way up to the top. Then from here, we're going to go ahead and come up with some glass here just like this, and then we'll continue the redstone dust up through the glass, continuing to the next layer. Then once you reach the top, the redstone's going to look like just like this. Now that these are all wired up, next we need to go ahead and move on over to this side. We need to wire this side up. Next, we need to go ahead and break this glass and make sure none of this lava comes out. So we're going to go just like this right there, place in a block just like that. Pretty smooth. I even collected the glass, not bad. So next, we're going to go ahead and come across here just like that. We're going to put the next layer in here just like so. Go ahead and put redstone dust up here just like that. Over here, we're going to need to go ahead and put ourselves in some redstone dust here and there just like so. Then we need to go ahead and continue up with the glass. Let's go ahead and do that here. We're going to go glass and glass just like that with redstone dust and redstone dust. And then we'll continue the layers going all the way up just like this. And when you reach the top of this one, it's going to go ahead and look like this. And now that these pistons are all wired up, next we need to go ahead and wire these pistons up. So we're going to go ahead and fall off right onto this piston right here. And then we're going to put ourselves another block on the side of this one, which should be right there on the side of that piston right here. We need redstone dust here and there, just like that. Next, we need to go ahead and place ourselves on a block down here, just like so. And then a block up here like this right here on that one with redstone dust on both of those. Then we need to do the next layer. We're going to go ahead and come up here just like that. We're going to put redstone dust here and there. We're going to grab our glass. We're going to put glass there and there, and then we'll redstone dust all the way up, going up to the next layer just like we have been. Once you reach the top, your redstone is going to look just like this at the top, and then we're going to actually place in one more glass block over here because this is going to get a repeater on it. Once you have this done, next we need to go ahead and wire up this side, so we're going to go ahead and land on top of our entrance over here. And then the first thing we need to do is come over here to our shulker box loading area. Go ahead and grab yourself some decorative blocks just like this, and we're going to fully enclose that area just like that. So that should be fully enclosed now. You shouldn't be able to see inside. Then once you have that done, next we need to go and grab ourselves some blocks here. We're going to go ahead and throw in a block right there just like this. We're going to go ahead and throw a block in there and a block in here like this, and one on top of that barrel right there just like so. Then we need to go ahead and throw in some blocks all the way across here just like this, and then we're going to run redstone dust across and over here on top of all of this, and even in here we're going to go all the way across here just like that. The next layer up is going to be the same. We're going to go in there just like this and come all the way across just like that. Over here we need to go ahead and place ourselves in some glass here just like this with some redstone dust on top and wire up the next layer just like this. We're going to do that all the way up. And then once again, once you reach the top, you'll see that all of your pistons and your redstone should look just like this. Next, we need to go ahead and hop on back down here. We're going to come down to this bit of the redstone right here. What we need to do now is we need to get ourselves down here kind of like this. I actually need to go down by one more, so let's go ahead and fix that. Let's go down all the way down to there. There we go. We're going to get ourselves a sticky piston just like this on the top bit of that glass right there. We need to get ourselves out here and around here just like so, so we can go ahead and place ourselves on an observer in this fashion just like that. The top of this block here, I believe, does have some redstone dust on it. That is no longer needed. That's going to go ahead and power through that block, so that's all you need. Then once you have that in place, next you need to go ahead and come on top of that piston right here that we just placed in and place in 2 bits of redstone dust right there. Next we need to go ahead and come out here just like this. We're going to come out by a block, and then up by 1 block just like so. We're going to go ahead and break this one out. Let's go ahead and get that. Then on the side of this one, we're going to go ahead and place ourselves in a sticky piston just like that. We need a temporary block out here like so we can place ourselves in an observer in here just like that, facing in that direction. Let's go ahead and get ourselves off of here just like so. We need to go ahead and come back up here. Let's get ourselves some redstone dust going on right there just like that. Once we have that in place, next we need to go ahead and come up here just like so. We're going to go ahead and place redstone dust on there as well just like that. And then the next layer, you'll see that the block actually cuts off the redstone just like that. Then what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and place ourselves in some glass right here and some redstone dust on top of here. We need to go ahead and place glass on top of here as well, and we're going to go ahead and zigzag up here with the redstone going up the glass just like this. And then we're going to do the next layer here just like that. We're going to go ahead and come on just like so. Then as you can see, the redstone dust is going to come and link up, and then we'll do the next layer and go all the way to the top. And at the very top, you'll see that that block actually does cut that redstone off, and then we need to go ahead and come over here just like this with some more glass. We'll go ahead and place in some more redstone dust just like this and like that. We need redstone dust on top of here, and we will need a block right there to cut that off. So now once all of these pistons are wired up, next we need to go ahead and place in some glass right here. We're going to place in 9 blocks in total, so that's 3, 4, just like that. We need to go 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, just like that. Then we're going to come right over here like this to this block. We're going to place ourselves in a sticky piston in there like that with an observer just like that. That'll extend and then retract and power this circuit. Then from there, we need to go ahead and come over here to this bit of redstone. We need to turn in this direction, place ourselves a sticky piston in there with an observer facing in that direction. Next, we need to get ourselves right over to that area, so let's go ahead and head on over there. We need to go right over to this area right here. Next, we need to place ourselves in a block on the side of this one, and then we're going to place ourselves in a repeater with a block up in front of it just like that, and a redstone torch out to this side over here right there, just like that. Next, we need to go ahead and get ourselves down here. We need a temporary block. We need to go ahead and get ourselves out here just a little bit more. Let's go like that. Let's get ourselves a sticky piston on the side of that one, facing down just like that. We need to get ourselves down a little bit lower here. Let's go ahead and drop on down here another time, just like this. There we go. All right, so now once we have that in place, we can go ahead and place ourselves in a observer. We need to go down a little bit further here. Let's go all the way down here and pillar back up. Let's get ourselves an observer here just like that. That's going to go right there. That's going to go into a block. We're going to have a temporary block below that one. Let's go ahead and break out this temporary block. Underneath here, we're going to go ahead and place ourselves in a block right here and a block right here. Let's go ahead and break these guys out right here, and let's get ourselves up on top. Once we have ourselves up on top, we can go ahead and go just like this. We're going to take ourselves a couple blocks in right here. We're going to place blocks in going in all the way to here, all the way to this redstone here, and then we're going to complete this up like that with a temporary block up here and one more right there. We need to break this one out just like so. And we need to go ahead and take ourselves a repeater right here, put that on 4 ticks just like this. We need redstone dust here, over here. Let's see, let's go like that, right there and right there. Next we need to go ahead and put redstone dust right here, and then we're going to put another 4-tick repeater right here, along with a 2-tick repeater right there. Once you have that circuit all wired up, next we need to go ahead and come on over here. We need to get ourselves up here, so let's go ahead and jump up there. There we go. We need to come on over to this side right here. We're going to get ourselves down here, down below, all the way on top of this area right here. Next, we need to go ahead and bring ourselves in some blocks right here. This should be right behind that piston here. We're going to bring in some blocks and line it up right here. We need to grab ourselves some glass. We're going to place that in right there, and then complete that up with another block. We need to place ourselves in some redstone dust all along here, and on the very last one we're going to place ourselves in a repeater right here on the back side of here. We're going to go ahead and place ourselves in a block, and that's going to go ahead and power that. Once you have all this all wired up, next we need to go ahead and get on the other sides there. So I wonder if I can go like this, if I can get underneath there. There we go. How nice is that? Let's see here. Can we get all the way up here without falling down? Let's see if we can get ourselves up there. That's not too bad. Pretty nice. All right, next we need to go ahead and do the same thing right here and right there. So we're going to grab ourselves our blocks. We're going to come around here just like this. And then when we get to this edge right here, when we're even with that block right there, we actually want to break that block, and we want to use a bit of glass there. I'm glad I was able to pick up that copper. Let's go ahead and place that in here just like this, just like so. There we go. And then we want to place ourselves in a repeater right there and a repeater right there, then wire this up with redstone dust. Now that these are all installed, next we need to go ahead and come underneath, and we need to wire it up down over there and around the corner. So what we need to do is we need to jump on down here just like this. We're going to place ourselves a block on top of this piston right here. We're going to also come right over here. We need to hop on down here just like this. We need to place a temporary block right there on the side of that glass block, and we're going to put ourselves a copper block right there. We need to go ahead and get ourselves back up here. Let's see. We need to place in some temporary blocks right here. We're going to put ourselves in a bit of glass over here on the side here. And actually, this can actually be a solid block like that. We need to go ahead and get rid of this temporary block here, just like so. There we go. Let's get some redstone dust going on there, and then we can get back down below here. Let's go ahead and head on back down. There we go. All right, then we're going to have this block. This is going to come all the way across on top of this piston here, just like this. And I believe here we can get up on top. We're going to bring this all the way across over here. We're going to come up to our piston right up here. So we need to come across. I'm going to place in a couple temporary blocks over here. We need a block right in here. So we're going to place a temporary block there. One right there. Let's go ahead and break this one out. This one comes out by 2 and then down by 1 just like that. Then we need to go ahead and break this guy out. We're going to place in ourselves another block in right there, and that completes up all the blocks we need for the circuit. Then we're going to place redstone dust on top of all these. Let's see if we can get up here. Let's see here. We need ourselves a repeater here, just like that. That's going to go ahead and power all that redstone dust for this side of the pistons. Then we need redstone dust leading all the way back to where we started. So let's go ahead and bring this all the way back here. That's going to power that piston and go all the way back to the original spot over there. And I almost forgot, we need to bring our redstone down on top of this piston too, so we're going to get some right there. And while we're down here, we're going to go ahead and take ourselves a stair block just like this. We're going to go ahead and crouch place that right into that hopper there. And then we're going to come right off the side right here with a quartz block, and that's going to be our area to get in. If we want to come out and work on our redstone, this is where we can do it. And if we take a look over here really quickly, we can see that this repeater right here powering this block is where the signal is going to be coming out of the tree farm, and we need to hook that up to this line right here. So what we need to do now is we need to go ahead and place ourselves in a block right there with some redstone dust on top of it, just like this. Then this guy right here, this is actually going to need to be raised up by a block, so we're going to go just like this, I suppose. We need to break this one out. I hope I can grab it. Let's see if we can get this. Not bad, not bad. Let's put a temporary block in there, and we'll go ahead and place that in there just like so and get rid of the temporary block and add some more redstone dust in right there and hook that up. You should see that redstone that we just hooked up is going to be interacted with by this piston right here. As you can see, when it extends, that block is going to go right in front of it and cut it off. That's very important. From right there where that redstone goes up, it should be going all the way up here into that repeater and connecting to this piston as well. Now that this is all complete, we're going to head on over to this area over here. Here's some temporary blocks that I left in earlier. We need to get rid of all those. Okay, now that we're done with that, we need to come right over here. We're going to go up to this glass line that we have right here. We need to get up on top of that. So now we're up here, and I've pillared myself up with this stone, and next we need to go ahead and place in a couple blocks right there. Whenever that piston extends, that observer is going to hit that block, and so we need to put some redstone dust on top of these. That's going to go ahead and carry a signal over to this obsidian right here. We need to place dust on top of that as well. Then what we need to do is we need to come down here just like this, place another bit of obsidian down there. We need to do that one more time, so we're going to place in another temporary block in right here just like that. Let's go ahead and get ourselves down here just a little bit. We also need to put redstone dust on top of this guy as well. So let's go ahead and get ourselves down here to where we can place an obsidian block down below this one. Once we have that in place, we need to add some redstone dust on top of that guy as well, just like this. Then once we have that in place, we need to come down just a little bit further. Then we're going to take ourselves some regular pistons. We're going to place pistons underneath all of these, and they need to be facing downwards just like this. That's very important, so make sure that one, hopefully we can collect that one. Let's see here. That's expensive. It's going to go right down into the void. And then while we're up here, I think I'm going to take this bit of glass out here too, and we're going to turn that into a sea lantern just like this for some lighting. So now that those pistons are all done and dusted, next we need to go and come on down here to this piston right here. This piston is going to be what activates the bottom set of pistons that we're about to install right here. So next we need to go ahead and get to the extended position, which is going to be right there. When this piston extends, that observer would be over here. And so on the other side is where we need to get to. The blocks of the tree farm are going to be coming through right here, so it's actually going to be using that as part of the redstone. We need to get ourselves a block underneath this guy. So we need to go ahead and come on down here. Let's go ahead and hop on down here. Just like this. We're going to put ourselves our first block in right there. Then we can get rid of that temporary block and that one and that one. So now that we got that in place, next we need to go ahead and come onto this side over here. We're going to place ourselves in 2 more blocks just like this. So we have 3 in total just like that. Next we need to go ahead and come on up here. We need to place ourselves on a temporary block right here just like this with a block up like that. 1 more like so, and 1 more up just like this right there on top. There we are. Let's go ahead and break out our temporary blocks here. Once we get rid of those, then we can go ahead and place redstone dust on top of all of that. Let's grab our dust here and let's go ahead and place that on top of all of these here just like so. Once we have that in place, let's get up and on top of these right here like this. There we are. And then what we need to do now is we need to grab ourselves some regular pistons. We're going to place these on the sides right here. So we need to go just like this, facing them straight up just like so. Once we have these in place, next we need to go and take some obsidian and make sure that these don't get pushed down. So we're going to hop on back down here. We need to get down below here. We're going to take ourselves some crying obsidian, and we're going to place that down below here and here. Let's get ourselves back up so we're not trapped down there. We'll place 1 more bit right there underneath that piston. Once we have that in place, next we need to go ahead and come right over here. We need to go and place in another block in right here just like this. We're going to place this here on the side over here like that. We need to have a repeater that's set to 2 ticks right here. That's going to go up into a block like so, and there's going to be 1 on top of it coming back here just like this, just like so. Once we have that in place, we're going to go ahead and come over by 4 blocks. So that's a total of 4 blocks right there. We're going to put redstone dust on top of all of that here, just like so. Once we have that done, then we can come back over here. We're going to go ahead and place in 4 pistons facing this direction. So let's get ourselves up here a little bit better. Let's go right over here just like this. And we'll put in ourselves 1, 2, 3, 4 pistons all facing that direction. Then we need to come up by a couple blocks and place in 4 more pistons all across there, just like that. And then once you have these pistons installed, you're going to need to continue watching on to part 4 to continue with this tutorial. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this part of this tutorial. It's been a lot of fun. And as you can see here, now I've actually got the farm running. It is the, I'm editing the video, and as we're editing the video, I've been making these parts to the video. And look at how much wood we've got already. We're going to come on down here. We're going to check this out. We're doing jungle now. We've got ourselves oak, a whole barrel filled with oak wood, a whole barrel filled with birch wood. We have spruce wood. We have one of jungle wood because we just started with that one, but we also have a full barrel of acacia wood. Oh my goodness, dude. And then all of this clay, look at this clay. We've got tons and tons of that too. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial, and if you guys did, be sure to smack that like button for me, and subscribe if you guys are new. I'm Broken Bones, and I'll be seeing you guys in part 4 of this tutorial. Just click the link on the end screen right there, you guys will see it. Take it easy, everybody.